and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I think I'm a self-admitted beginning runner again.
Huh. That's where you're at right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where I'm at.
And I am leaning on the not so fun side of things right now. I'm more of I'm still trying to run after taking some time off, but the not so fun part, I'm having some issues.
And you're Mitch.
And I'm Mitch.
It's been a while.
I forget.
Yeah, this is our welcome back. We're back episode. We have been off for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when, because I think it was before I went to Montana.
Yeah, because we never.
I don't think
we talked about it.
Right, so.
Or it was right around that same time.
It was right around that same time.
We looked at the summer and went, we're going to have to push pause because we've just got so much going on between vacations and work and busyness of life and things like that. It just made sense to push pause.
Yeah. So, I did the Missoula Marathon. I don't know if we talked about that. I have no, but.
I don't think so.
I know. I don't think
so.
Beautiful race.
Yeah, we talked about it in discussions at like dinner and things like that. But
yeah, that was a fantastic trip. We hiked every day. Get up super early and try to see bears.
I'm trying to think. I talked to somebody recently that went out somewhere out that way, national park area out there. And they had brought up, oh man, I'm trying to think of who that was, but they had brought up like the thing that you were talking about. You had to get up at like 4 a.m. at the latest to get around and like drive to where you wanted to go to be into a trailhead in order to get into the place.
Yeah, just to get a parking spot.
Yeah.
So I know it got worse because we were there early, like the end of June, and it's not as busy, but like we went for a short hike and we had plenty of parking when we got there and then come back and people are circling the parking lot that quick.
Yeah.
So we were very lucky to get in there.
Man, I wish I could remember who that was because they said when they were out there, they had went to like the same area that they wanted to go to, like let's say on a Saturday. But because it was now Saturday, like Wednesday, Thursday, there was parking galore, it seemed like. They came back and there was like no issues. But man, Friday, Saturday, he said they waited and waited. And then they got to where like you get in, they said, nope, got to turn around.
Yeah. Sounds like the same place. That sounds like Glacier.
Okay. It could be, yeah.
Logan's Pass, because it's like, there's like 3 trailheads right there. And it's probably the highest point in the park. But probably one of my top 5 favorite places to go as far as a trip. Like I don't think I could live there for the winter, but I could definitely live there in the summer. I mean, the lakes are so clear.
The whole time
it's beautiful. And there are grizzlies, and I was a little nervous about that, but at the same time, I wanted to see one. So we were picking hikes, and we're watching the Facebook page, and like, oh, there were sightings there. Like, not like I wanted to walk right up on one, but I wanted to see one. Like my vision was that, it's going to be in the meadow. But never saw one while we were hiking. So we saw a deer, and we did see a moose. We saw a grizzly when we were driving back from Polebridge the last night before we left, and it was right in the ditch eating berries. So it was really cool to actually see one. But
yeah, to get to see one. I saw side note, recently saw some, I don't remember where I saw it, but like on Facebook or something, a guy in his tent, zipped the tent.
Yeah.
And there was this bear, and it's like growling at him.
Yeah.
It's
not cool.
No. Oh my goodness. I think the post was like a bear attacked my tent or something like that. And it did a little bit. Like when he gets out, and I'm just thinking, Man, because did you see that one?
Yeah, I think I did. I don't know. I thought Nicole sent that or something or somebody.
Oh, maybe that's, I don't know. But yeah, he gets out of the tent and the bear is gone. Like because he stood up and he started screaming or something like that, like yelling. And it did spook the bear and the bear took off.
Must have been a black bear because grizzly doesn't necessarily spook like that. No.
Yeah, well, it was a big enough looking bear that
they're still big.
I'd be pooping my pants, man. If I was that guy, there is no way.
We carried bear spray everywhere. Like it's a requirement. Really, I saw people. I was surprised how many people didn't, but I don't know why you wouldn't. And there was one lady we saw that was carrying it, and it was loaded. Like she had the plug out, and she had it in her hand. And
like walking that way.
Like, whoa. Like you're going to accidentally spray someone with that. But I mean, that's not going to save your life either necessarily, but you just have to be smart.
Yeah,
but, yeah. I loved it out there. The race was really well put on. You know, I mean, it was
Missoula Marathon.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then after that, our youngest, graduated from high school, so we went to Arizona. So her and I did that. So we did a bunch of hiking out there. Didn't run the whole week.
Nice. I mean, nice in the sense of you could just take the time off and just focus on,
Just focused on her, and we did a bunch of hikes. The most I could get her to do would be like 6 miles, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then we just have to find something.
Did you do the common ones like Saddleback or Camel's Back? Is that
No, we didn't do that. That's more closer to
Phoenix proper or Scottsdale.
Yeah, we did. We stayed at the Grand Canyon. That was probably
cool.
The North
that's
Rim.
right. Yeah, that's right.
That was probably her favorite place.
And you hiked down and would hike back out.
We hiked down like 1.5 miles, and that was her least favorite hike because it was a little hard.
Yeah.
And we took trekking poles. And then her favorite hike was just along the rim. Like it was all covered. But in Sedona, we hiked to Devil's Bridge. And we hiked to, we took pictures, and we hiked to, there's a couple different names. They call it Subway Cave or the Birthing Cave. But you have to hike up into it, and that's a little precarious getting up in there. And we got pictures in there.
Yeah, you showed me that. That's the one you had been there before with like Laura.
Laura went up there, and then she couldn't bring herself to climb in there, I believe, is what I was told.
Okay, maybe you showed me pictures of that. That's what it is. Okay. Because I'd seen pictures of that before you showed it to me this time. And, I think I remember we talked about
Devil's Bridge, I was there 8 or 9 years ago, and I couldn't bring myself to climb out on it.
Yeah.
But once you get on there, it's pretty wide.
Okay. Pictures make it look not so wide.
It's a pretty decent drop.
Yeah.
If you don't like heights.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So we've been off a bit. And it was, part of me is, I'm like, yeah, it was good. Take some time off, take some pressure off, just kind of relax a little bit through the summer. And then on the other hand, man, especially the last like month and a half to almost 2 months, I've just been kind of jonesing to get back and talk.
And then, so you're ready to get back, and I've been doing nothing but work the last.
Yeah, you have been
2
crazy
months.
busy.
Like at work all the time. I didn't have a day off for like even Sundays for 6 weeks. So,
yeah, I would guess we would have actually been back a month ago if it wasn't for your work.
Yeah, and finally we're caught up enough that I'm.
Because you were literally 7 days a week.
7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days. Saturdays.
And by the way, let's go record a podcast.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
But now they're caught up enough, and there's not as many breaks. I don't, So I'm trying. I didn't run that whole time either. But my knee was bothering me, so
it was kind of a nice.
I didn't worry about trying to figure out my knee while I was working so much, but now it's calmed down enough, and I want to worry about it. So now it's like, knee's still a problem.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to Terrence, and he's been kind of helping me out.
Yeah, he laid the law down on you.
Yeah, 3 miles max, 3 days a week.
Did he say like? Feel it out, and then after a week or two,
after a couple weeks, he said, if you feel okay, we'll start doing a 3-5-8. So, but Suggested a knee brace.
But it's tendonitis.
Tendonitis in my, patella tendonitis. And they got a knee brace on it, and then BioFreeze for the win today. I think that helped dull it enough. Because I'm not doing more damage. It just hurts like hell. So,
Yeah, that sucks.
So it just kind of takes away.
And that's hard because you're not doing damage. Right. So you're like, well, I can get in another mile or two, and that just kills you.
Yeah, you're kind of like, suck it up, but it hurts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've been, like I said, that was the summer, took it off. It was nice and peaceful. Wanted to get back, couldn't get back, just got busy with things. And then I actually got really excited to get back to running. And I started, I want to say like late September, or September sometime.
And started building a shed.
And started building a shed. And the problem with building a shed in October is you're fighting weather and you're fighting shortening days.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And everybody would agree that, this October has been, it's got to be one of the wettest Octobers we've had in a long time.
Well, we got snow on Halloween, yeah. I mean, it was kind of melted by night, but we got a lot of snow.
We did, yeah. It was significant. So yeah, I got all excited, started running, and then started building the shed, and realizing that if I want to get this done before snow, and actually store stuff in it, I really every lit waking hour I was working on the shed.
This is funny. This is classic you though. Like you kind of procrastinate, then you start on it, and then that's all you work on.
Because that was my plan was to do this summer. Yeah.
Weird.
I know, and I had time this summer, and now I went back to full time, and I come home and I've got an hour. Quick, get out there and just pound out an hour's worth of work.
We were talking about this before we started too, and I built a garage at our first house, and it's before I had kids. But when you don't have kids that are stopping you, that's what I would do the same thing. I'd get home from work or before work, I think if I was working second shift, and I would just pound nails because we built that thing all from scratch. Like I didn't have any power tools then. This is,
wow.
I don't know.
25 years ago?
Almost 30, probably.
Almost 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we didn't, it was 32 by 40. I remember Did
they have air tools back then?
Yeah. But I remember putting those trusses up there, and then we didn't have any equipment to put those trusses up, and we would just have somebody catch them and swing them up. And I remember I would never do that again. I don't have the talent to do that. I don't know how we figured it out.
It's amazing you think of the things you did, and then you find out later like what could have went wrong.
Right.
And you're like, ooh, whoa. Made it through that.
My wife and I did the whole roof, shingled that whole roof with just hammer and nails. Like that was a huge roof.
I actually, so the thing is, this is like a catch-22. There's some things I really love about our society today with regards to I don't want to say it's like we have a lot of throwaway things, right? There's a lot of junk that's just out there for sale. However, when you're doing stuff like this, I said, screw it. I'm going to go pick up a cheap roofing nailer.
Yeah.
And some nails, and I will be able to sell that back on Facebook Marketplace and get most of my money back. Mm-hmm. And it was so worth it versus doing it by hand.
I agree. But 30 years ago, that stuff was so expensive.
Yeah,
it was so expensive, and then I didn't have disposable income like that.
Yeah.
So you're going as cheap as you could. I was just, I was 25 years old.
Yeah, you didn't have an extra $130 to put to a nailer.
No, as it was, I spent way too much on that garage as it was.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised my budget's okay right now, and I have spent a ton more than my initial I've got everything. No, you don't.
You're also bad at that too. Like it's not that big.
Yeah. I feel like I did okay. The only thing is the foundation portion of that shed was way more than I thought. Yeah. As far as
because it can't be permanent.
Yeah, and you don't know until you start digging in. I mean, I suppose if you do this every day, yeah, you can figure it out. But when you're just doing it on a whim, you're like, all right, I'm going to do this. There's a lot of stuff you learn in the process. But yeah, I spent way more in the 4x6s that I used to build up the foundation than I thought I was going to have to.
It's really the base, because there's really not a foundation. It's just the base of the
shed. Yeah. But anyway, that was our summer. And so we've been busy doing that. I am actually super excited to be back running again, even though I took some time off already because of the shed. But
I'm super excited to get this started again because the break was good. There's people that we want to have on.
And people are asking. They're like, hey, when are you coming back?
Because I did my team triumph for Grand Rapids Marathon. I had no business running a marathon, and I pushed or was on a team with Johnny Agar and his dad Jeff. What fantastic people! And I asked Johnny if he would like to be on, and I think he's like, yeah, I'd do that.
That would be awesome.
And that would be amazing. We just have to figure out some logistics.
Yeah.
How we'd do that, but
sure, we could make something work. We could go to their location or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Johnny Agar, you could literally Google his name. You're going to find a ton of really amazing stories.
Yeah.
On him and his dad.
I was hooked. Like, I was thinking I was going to drop, and man, that dude talked me into going the whole way. And
that's awesome.
Maybe just by the person that he is.
Yeah.
Like, he's an amazing human. And it kind of gave me strength. I was dying at the end, but it gave me a lot of strength.
That's cool. So, yeah, we have a lot of fun, exciting things that we want to do. And, these are some things that we had talked about actually prior to even taking the break. But yeah, this is just kind of a kickoff to coming back and talking about what we've been doing. I haven't been doing much. And then talk about where we're going. I do have aspirations already. I love Mohican, the race. And I would love to go back there possibly next year in 2024 and do the 50 mile. And if that's the case, I would have to get going now.
You could do the 50 mile there, and then you could try to beat my record at Tunnel Hill in November.
In December. Is it November?
Yeah, it's coming up quick because Brian's doing it.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, next year.
He's doing it this year.
But he's doing it this year, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe that or obviously Hallucination or Indiana is in the fall.
When's Mohican? Is that early?
Yeah, it's in the spring.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I would have to get going.
Hallucination works out because it's close.
It's Hallucination. Yeah, everybody from this area, it's easy to go do that just because of the location. But Indiana is another one I would consider. It's a fall.
You like that one too?
I do. I like that race. I like just the organization of it. It is run really well.
So here's the thing I do when I'm hurt, and I think, well, I got 12 states left. I went through last Sunday, and I got on my computer, and I got on Running in the USA, and I put in all the states that I wanted to look at, and I started dumping them into a spreadsheet with a link. And you have access to that because we've looked at it before. But trying to, because I was going to try to run like I have Georgia and Alabama, and there's a couple races. I could probably suck it up, but I would hate it. And it's like, I just need to back off. I could probably do it.
I mean, you've got time between now and spring,
right? If
your knees cooperate.
So
to train.
Even January, if I can, like, when I talk to Terrence, he's like, don't get too down. You might, you have base. You might be able to do something in January, February. Like, it's not.
Oh, that would be the earliest that you would.
Yeah, but he's like, it's not out of the question. So I'm like, it's good that I talked to him.
Yeah.
So maybe, I could start thinking about it and just, I did run 10 marathons this year, I guess, but I had hoped for more, and I wanted to get a dozen, but it's fine.
Yeah, given just what your body's told you this year, it's good to say, I got 10 in and not 12. I mean, that's
sucks getting old.
Yeah, I mean, there's obstacles you have to deal with when you start to get a little bit older, but
it's funny, all the advice I'm getting, I've given everybody else. I'm like, I know all this stuff. I just don't want to use it for me.
Yeah. especially with something like what you've got going on where it's just pain. It's not injury. It's not like you're hurting something.
No, I'm not doing any more damage. It just hurts.
Which in turn just makes running miserable.
Yeah. So it kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yep.
So not so fun.
The not so fun part. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the plan. We're going to be back. We are going to be talking about obviously the things that we have talked about with what we're doing, where we're going, talk to people and their stories with running. Mm-hmm. What is that tick that just happened?
Something I don't know. Just ticked. I almost felt like it was on this side.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't know exactly the schedule yet. So I will put that out there. We're not sure if we're going to do every other week yet or if we're going to be able to do every week. The goal would be every week.
I think that's the intention is just because we're excited about getting back, but don't want to overcommit because it's going to take some time to get things in place. Like I know we talked about, talking to Terrence again and what that looks like because his place opens up in February, I believe.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And then, but he wants to do. If it was up to him, he'd do something weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah, at least twice a month, I think he said.
Yeah,
he'd like to do I don't remember what he said.
More of an information, thing,
which I'm excited about. I think it would be fun to do that. And we've talked about switching up our schedule in order to accommodate getting these in.
Yeah, and
I think that would help us too. Logistically, it makes more sense for Mitch to actually stop here and record during the week. So we're toying around with that. And so hopefully that will just help to establish some better consistency.
Well, and better time management for that matter, too. Because Saturdays are hard.
Yeah.
Like if I want to run downtown Grand Rapids and then, this is half hour away, and it's like in the other direction. It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, and you're already here during the week, so
I'm already just a couple miles down the road. I could pass right through.
So we're doing some things that'll make it a little more consistent. Hopefully, make it a little bit easier just on us to be able to focus on what we want to focus on and not worry about all the logistics and the pressure of getting it in. And sometimes that has, I think, affected maybe some of the content, honestly, is like, all right, we got to get this done versus, hey, can't wait to talk about this, and that makes a difference.
It's funny because I know right now on your head there's daylight out there and it's not raining. You're thinking that shed.
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, man, we got to get this in so I can
early
get back out there.
And then also at the same time, you got a whole bunch of grandkids upstairs running around.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun.
Yeah, it was funny the last time I was one of the last times in the last couple of weeks they were over, I was actually out there, and it was fun because Jack and Matthew came out there and they're running around, and I'm going, it was great having them out there. But on the other hand, I'm like, hey, don't be running around those tools. You will get hurt. There's a potential somebody could lose a limb. Stop.
They're typical boys.
Yes. Yeah. So I said, how about this? I gave them a task to do, and it was really good. They actually helped collect a lot of the scraps and stuff like that and clean it all up. So it was fun. So maybe that'll happen today.
Hopefully.
Or
they'll get in the way.
Or they'll go, no, last time you just had us pick up stuff. We ain't going out there and helping you again.
Bunch of crap. That is.
Yeah.
They're smart too.
Yeah. So we are back. This will be out. The plan is next week. So a week from today. And from then on, we will be back to covering running content. We'd love to hear from people and hear, we do have a fair amount of regular listeners. That's one of the nice things, man. I've looked at the last month. We still get a lot of downloads. It's funny of old episodes and just a random assortment of episodes. But
I have not looked lately. I
looked recently because I had taken quite a bit. I just shut it off. I was like, all right, we're taking a pause. I'm shutting it off. And then as we were starting to talk about getting back, I was like, all right, I need to start checking in on this. Checked email and checked Facebook. And, the one of the nice things I feel okay with is there hasn't been a ton of people asking for stuff and just being ignored. So that makes me feel better. But those that have almost been in person, kind of like, hey, talking to us or on Strava and things like that, which is really cool. The thing I would ask is, hey, let's hear what people want to hear. Like, especially from the regular listeners, what are some questions out there? What are some ideas? Love hearing that kind of.
I just thought of one. If you're going to do Mohican, and then we got to train for that. So we should probably run another marathon before that.
Yeah, I mean that would be a natural progression to 50 miles. Run a marathon.
So let's find one that it's in one of the states I need, and we'll run that.
Oh, I was thinking like Groundhog is right around the corner.
Well, that too. That's a given.
Yeah,
but we got Groundhog will be preparation for one of my states, or one. Before.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
but
you don't need Ohio, do you?
No, I've got a lot of Ohio. I think I'm almost 100 in Michigan.
Wow.
100 alone in Michigan. Isn't that funny?
Well, I mean, just between
all my favorite races.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how many times have you done Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, and Bayshore.
They just celebrated 15?
Grand Rapids is
or 20. 20.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking of all the other ones. Groundhog.
Yeah, that's like 10.
So many. Yeah.
That's 30 just between those two races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so many races in Michigan. So
yeah.
I need to branch out.
A little bit.
New Mexico.
What's your total?
167, I think.
Wow. Yeah. So you're not even double Michigan.
Yeah.
Like you have, yeah. Which, I mean, I guess that makes sense. You live here, but anyway. Yeah. So would love to hear via email, via Strava, via in person, just what are some ideas that people have that would like to be covered? Because, I mean, either between you and I or people we know, we can cover a ton of running content, which, that's what the podcast is about. So
yeah, we can do a race review.
Well, that's race reviews. And I'm wondering if people want to hear more about like current events in running, like when something like the break into or the world record dropping at Chicago.
Well, and the women's world record got beat at Berlin just before that. So the women's world record was also beat. So that's a little known fact.
Oh,
so both records fell
in Berlin. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
How did I miss that?
Right, I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, but stuff like that where we cover what's going on in the world of running,
or my
proper
favorite ultra runner ever,
Jim Walmsley.
No, well,
Courtney.
I like Courtney. Oh my gosh,
yeah, she killed it. This summer was amazing.
The 3 big ones, she took them all.
Yeah,
nobody's ever done that,
and in like dominating fashion.
Yeah,
like nobody was close.
And now she just ran. Did you know she ran Javelina 100K with her mom, step for step?
Oh, really?
So to top it all off, she helped her mom finish her.
That's cool.
First ultra, or maybe
that's awesome.
I don't know if she's done other ones, but I saw that on Instagram. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That is
so being a beast of a person and then running with her mom.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. But yeah, covering stuff like that, I'm just curious to see what people like to hear about, because we like talking about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, but that doesn't necessarily mean people like to hear about it. And not to say that the podcast is always going to be just what, Joe wants to hear, but it is nice to know what Joe wants to hear.
And we haven't been doing our Friday night dinners lately, so we got to start that up.
I know. Like yesterday, did you guys, was
Caden's in town? So
that's right.
We just ordered pizza, and he didn't get in until he got caught in traffic, and then had my dad and his wife over too.
Oh, cool.
So
nice.
It was good.
Cool. So that's about all we wanted to cover on this episode. We kind of wanted to sit down and just go over some things. We did go out for a run this morning, and we got in 3 miles.
Followed Terrence's advice.
Yeah, I was surprised when you got here, and because earlier you said I said, well, as long as you want to do like 5 or 6 slow. You said, well, I got the slow part down, but I'd like to get in a few more. And I said, well, okay, we'll figure it out. Or you said, we'll figure it out. And then you got here, and I said, well, so 5 or I don't remember what I said, but you go 3. And I went, wait, serious? And then when we ran, I was like, there's no way. I was surprised. I was proud of you.
I just have no choice.
Yeah. For actually doing what you were told.
It's the things it's the little successes. I need to go back to that. It's any advice I'd give to anybody else. My fitness isn't as good as it was. I think I still have base, but, and then I'm not eating the greatest lately. I haven't stepped on the scale. I know that's playing a part too.
Yeah.
I know. Like my pants are a little tighter, so I gotta figure something else out too.
So, yeah, we are running, and Mitch is battling injury, but we're back. We're gonna do our probably runs for now on Saturday, which is always a nice time to catch up, talk about things while we're running, and we had some good conversation this morning. But I think it was all in an effort to all right, how do we get this back and get this rolling? And invest some time into this. So we're happy to be back, excited to be back. We hope everybody that hears this is excited to be hearing this and have us back. And please make sure you share this with somebody and as somebody that likes running, and even those that don't, that might have an interest in getting into running. And hopefully we can shed some light on the hobby/sport of running. But yeah, for now, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.